Welcome back, troglodytes, to the Trogly's Guitar Show. Today we're doing another case review on what I believe is the earlier runs of the Gibson Lifton Reissue cases. Now, if this is your first case review, basically I go through 6 different categories of this case that I think are pertinent to how it relates to your guitar. And these categories are the sturdiness of the handle, the overall aesthetics of the case, how well your guitar fits inside of the case, how sturdy the latches are, / how do they feel, the overall durability of this case, and the price of the case. These will all be rated on a 1 to 10 scale. First, let's take a look at the handle of this case. It's kind of a nice leather-like feeling handle, and you've got some white stitching on the outside. It definitely looks very fancy. As you can see here, it's prone to some wear, so you've got a little bit of wear on this one. But overall, it looks like it's attached fairly well. As far as a guitar case goes, I like handles that are completely built into the case, like the chainsaw style. But as far as, attached handles go, this one's pretty good. I would give it an 8 out of 10 because, I don't know, I'm still a little bit worried that one day this will break off. It doesn't feel like it's the most sturdy handle in the world, but I'm not scared to use these handles. Number 2, the aesthetics of the case. Here you can see you kind of have a almost floral print-like exterior here. And it definitely has a nice brown exterior. It's not like a poop brown, but a nice tanned leather brown. Overall, it looks very well put together and fancy on the outside. Let's go ahead and take a look at the inside now. The interior is a very nice kind of velvety pink look. I mean, this case really does capture the original Lifton's vibe, I feel. Overall, I definitely give this one a perfect 10 out of 10 for aesthetics. The next test is the fit of the case. Now, despite this guitar case only having a single neck rest, this neck rest is really high up, so it prevents the headstock from touching down. So that's a very nice plus to this case. And originally, Gibson did have this little insert in here to help give it a second neck rest, but they were trying to be more historically accurate with this version of the case. It is a very tight form fitting on here. Some of my Les Pauls I really had to work in here and kind of squish the padding down to actually get the guitar to fit. So that means it is a very tight fit, which is a good thing for keeping your guitar safe. Overall, I would give the fit of the case a 7 out of 10. Not because it doesn't fit the guitar fits just fine, it's just almost a little bit too tight, and I wish it would have the second neck rest. But they did make a different version that did have that. Next test is the latches. Now, this iteration of the Gibson Lifton Reissue case is kind of interesting. They only have a single latch on the case, and that's here in the middle. They do have these things that I call a clasp. So you have 4 of these that just kind of lock in place like this. So you have 2 up there, your traditional latch, the clasp, and a clasp at the bottom. So it definitely keeps your guitar secure in there. There's no clasps on the back. Now personally, I'm not a huge fan of these, but they do the job that they're meant to do. So I would give the latches on this case an 8 out of 10. Durability of this case is the next topic. You can see here if I press my hand on it, it does bend to my pressure. So could you run this over with a car? No. But if you dropped it, will it be the safest case? Probably not. As far as durability, I'll probably go ahead and give this Lifton Reissue a 5 out of 10. Not because it's an absolute garbage case, not because it's made of chipboard or anything, but it's very prone to scratches. You can see right there just from light storage where it's got scratches. So it's not a very durable case as far as holding up its appearance. It will definitely show wear and tear. And that's kind of the downfall of these Lifton Reissue cases. They sure are pretty, but they don't hold up very well. Final topic here is the price of these cases. These are very expensive cases to get secondhand. I don't believe Gibson even sells these guys new, and I don't think they even make this style anymore. Generally, a Lifton reissue case, at the very least, is going to cost you $200, and that's for a pretty well-worn example with lots of wear and tear. But they can fetch all the way up to $400 in good shape. Overall, I would give this case a 5 out of 10 as far as price goes because they're just too expensive for the limited protection that they actually offer. Alright, so the review is done. Overall, this case didn't score really high on my scale. So, the early Lifton reissue case. As far as buying a case to protect your guitar, no, I don't recommend this case. It is a very beautiful case. I will give it that. That's why if you have a historic reissue, you want this case. They're just so darn pretty. And they make your guitar look so vintage. It's just great. And that's why people pay high dollar for these cases. They don't pay it because it's a super protective case. They can take it on the plane with them. They can throw it off their roof and their guitar will be just fine. No, you don't buy a Lifton case for that reason. There's flight cases, some really nice SKB cases that would be better for that. So, once again, people pay a lot of money for these cases simply because they look nice. They're not absolute garbage cases by any means. They do protect the guitar adequately and they fit nicely, but overall, I would say I'm not a huge fan of this version of the Lifton reissue case. Let me know your opinions of this case down in the comment section below, and we will catch you troglodytes on the next episode. Take care.